Can stop him.
The Orlando Magic stumbled out of the starting gate 1-4, but have since righted the ship a bit, winning 4 out of 6. The Knicks, meantime, unbeaten at home, and the only team in the East ranking in the top 10 in both offensive and defensive rating. We head to the Garden, where Angel Gray will be working the sidelines tonight. Good evening, Angel.
Good evening, Ernie. Good evening, guys. And just to go back to what you were saying about the Knicks, they are just playing fun basketball right now, and it's been on full display how they've done it on both sides of the ball. But starting on the offensive end, they've been able to put things together. Their chemistry has been very good with one another, and coming off of 3 straight games where they scored 130 or more points in 3 consecutive games, that's something you want to tilt your hat to. But they are not pleased with just that aspect of the ball. What I've loved about watching them, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention their efforts on the defensive end. On the other side, Mike Brown has talked about how he has held them accountable on the defensive end to be in the right places at the right time to create extra opportunities on the other side. Points off of turnovers over the last 3 games. They have had 25 or more points in that category. It's been impressive how they've held each other accountable. You can see last season where they were defensively. They have upped the ante in that department. A veteran group that understands what it takes to win is not just on the offensive side. We've seen that on full display. Defensively, how are they going to hold themselves accountable? And it really is led by the entire starting 5, but it's been fun to watch how Jalen Brunson has took accountability for everyone on the floor on the defensive side to create those extra points off of turnovers, guys.
Angel Gray, thank you very much for the time. Enjoy the game tonight at the Garden.
I'm laughing. Because the Knicks do realize they got to win on the road, though. You can't go 7-0 at home and 0-3 on the road. So you'll be 41-41.
Yes, you will. Good math.
So it's like, as well as they're playing, we have the best teams in basketball have winning records on the road. That is what separates you from being a good team to a great team, is the ability to go on the road, silence the crowd, guys who typically play well at home play even better on the road. That separates championship basketball.
Yeah, but I actually like what they're doing because, to me, they got a bunch of new players. They got a new coach. They need to get off to a good start. And whether they're playing at home or the road, they're going to win some games on the road. To me, I still think they are the favorite in the East. I think them and
favorite?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
I think them and Cleveland are the 2 best teams in the East. But the reason I'm not worried about the home-road disparity is because they needed to get off to a good start. Because they've got to learn Mike Brown. You know, I got nothing but love and respect for Tibbs, but it's like night and day the way they play.
Yeah, it has been a favorable home and road schedule to start off. Meantime, one of the things Mike Brown has installed here is this defensive player of the game after a win, and they put the hard hat on him and the orange vest and the Timbs hanging around him like a chain. And yeah, what?
That's cute. Mike Brown is a players type coach. You know, he loves having relationship with the guys. He's free. You know, he holds them accountable. He's not a big yeller. Chuck makes a great point. They have to learn Mike Brown, but I love the way they're playing. I'm not going to get too high on them. I'm glad that they're winning at home because, you know, when you want to establish yourself as a team, you want people to understand you're not going to come in this building and win. They will figure it out on the road, but I'm not going to get too high on them because every time we get high on them, they let us down. Yeah, the Knicks they have the talent to win the Eastern Conference without question. They have everything you asked for. But win it. To win they have the talent.
They almost won it last year.
They had the talent to win it last year.
Yeah, well, close to it. They were playing 5 guys last year. Yeah. They needed this roster. If Tibbs had this roster, it'd be different. But Cleveland is the favorite. If you're like, again, winning on the road early is important. Can they beat Cleveland?
Yes, they can beat Cleveland.
Because other teams are not as good as they're going to be later on, Ernie.
Well, they beat Cleveland last year. Cleveland lost to Indy last year. So they lost to Indy, and Indy obviously without Miles and without Halliburton. The Knicks are the favorite in the East, in my opinion.
But if you look at on the opposite side, you look at a team like Oklahoma City, who's played 11 games, they're 6-1 on the road.
Well, that's a different animal right there.
That's the animal you're trying to beat.
Well, we're talking about the Eastern Conference.
As we're looking at Cat, answer me this, because with a new coach, Mike Brown has a different way of looking at Karl Anthony Towns, wants him moving around, doesn't want defenses to be able to think, oh, he's just coming here to the top, and that he wants to diversify him a little bit. Do you guys have experience when a new coach takes over, tinkering with what you're accustomed to?
Well, when you get a new coach, it's like it's a big difference, Ernie, because every coach has to have his own identity. He has to have his own style. The Knicks, they needed to get better offensively. There were too much Jalen one-on-one, Carl just shooting threes. I really think it's going to help them in the big picture, because as great as Jalen is, just going 1-on-5 every night, that's one of the reasons they broke down. Mm-hmm. And it's easy to play defense against teams like that. You see their points. They're moving. Shaq,
they're taking a ton more threes, too, from number 27 in league to number 3, about 10 more a night.
I think it's a great question, but not for these two guys.
No, that's not true.
Because when a new coach comes in with Shaq, he's adjusting to Shaq. When it comes in with Charles, he's adjusting to Charles. Like, he's figuring out a way to make you a better player, for everyone else. For a guy like myself, or even not even to the level, but even Karl Anthony Towns, like when Rudy Tom Jonathan took over, he stopped the pick and roll. Before he got there, I was in pick and roll with Otis Thorpe like 60% of the time. So you get more opportunities and more looks. Now we're like, no, we're going to spread 4 out, 1 in. And the 1 in is Akeem Olajuwon. We won a championship doing that. So now, what I would have been happy saying, oh, I could get 17 points a game, but I'm averaging 14 now, 13 with these guys. I'd rather average 13 and win a championship. You have to know that this is going to work.
Yeah, but you have to sometimes still have your own personal agenda. Like for a guy like Karl Anthony Towns, what he was averaging last year, I would expect him to average that. That's 6 points a quarter. 6 points a quarter. Like, I don't need you to try to, get 24 in the first quarter. That's 6 points a quarter. He can go inside, he can go outside. So it doesn't matter what the coach is expecting of you. Sometimes you still have to have your own agenda.
Yeah, but
like me.
That's you. I don't think he can demand.
He can get 6 points a quarter.
But hold on for a second.
He can get 6 points a quarter.
First of all, coaching is really important. If you go back and look at that Last Dance documentary, what was one of the things that Tex Winter was saying to Michael? Give the ball up more. It'll help you in the long run. I think that's what Mike is trying to do to Big Cat and Brunson. Instead of y'all going 1-on-5 all the time, it's tough to go 1-on-5, no matter how talented you are. But if you go back and look at that Last Dance documentary, Michael said, when they first came to me and says, hey, you're going to be our closer, but give the ball up more earlier in the game. And that's going to open your game.
Yeah, I mean, the triangle offense was great, but at the end of the day, at the end of the triangle, Michael had the ball in his hand.
But it makes your life easier.
10 years out of 13 years. So.
Because let me tell you something. Because listen, when you don't have Michael Jordan, that triangle's a square.
Or a straight line.
Or just a straight line.
On the Orlando side, obviously the major addition to the Magic was Desmond Bane, and you got to wonder if a guy who has struggled in his early Orlando career, maybe it'll be a jump start what happened the other night.
Oh, shot at the buzzer.
Man, this was a hell of a shot.
Wins the game at the horn. And
Ernie, this was just a lucky shot, because my biggest criticism of the Magic, and you kind of disagreed with me last year about how good they are defensively. I think they play way too slow.
And they've picked up their pace this year.
Yes, they really need to pick up their pace, because they have enough good players. You can't just have guys standing around just shooting threes. That just doesn't work. I think if they played at a much faster pace, I think it would help them. It would definitely help Paolo. I really do. You saying they're picking it up. I would like to see them play even faster.
Yeah, they've gone from last to middle of the pack, number 14.
And listen, when you got that many young players, you should still be playing fast.
And you always hear the term the it factor in sports, whatever the it factor may be. If they had that it factor, then, they kind of lost it when the guys were injured. They need to somehow get that back, because I remember, like, we was talking about this team with much excitement. Like, they don't have a lot of big name players. They got Paolo, they got the Wagner boys, but they have to get that it factor back, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, Desmond Bane, he'll come around. It would be, not to this degree, but Shaq, you like the ball on the left block, right? When you were on the left block?
Yes.
Okay. If I said we're going to run every play now that you're on the right block, it would be an adjustment period. You still would be able to score, but it would be an adjustment period. Desmond Bane is shooting, I think, 28% from three. He's on a different side of the floor now. He's just going to get used to getting shots from those areas of the floor, and he'll be a better shooter, he'll be a better player, and then his defensive impact is still measurable.
Yeah, but while we're talking Knicks in Orlando, while we're talking Knicks, Michael Ray Richardson passed at the age of 70, prostate cancer, and I'm wondering if should I talk to Charles about their careers, having crossed paths there, or do I talk to Kenny about being a New York kid, watching this guy with the Knicks and the Nets?
Well, let me say something about him as a player first. And I know, now I need y'all to hear me, as my girl Judge Judy say, I need you to hear me. Don't listen, hear me. Michael Ray Richardson obviously has some issues, was as good as Magic Johnson from a talent level standpoint in his day. Obviously, I'm not going to get into his personal business. That's just not my thing. But as far as just being a basketball player, that guy, I told you, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, I love those guys. They're the two most important players in NBA history. But strictly from a basketball standpoint, that guy right there was as good as Magic Johnson.
I would have to agree to some degree. What makes Magic as well was the fact that he was able to control a lot of things in his life, as well on the basketball court. He was able to control certain things. And his size was a little bit bigger. He was a little bit bigger basketball player, 6'9", but he was this close. I mean, every team he went to, they used to be like, who's the best backcourt in the league? They'd be like, Michael Ray Richardson and Michael Ray Richardson and. Every team that he went to was always thought of as the best backcourt in the league.
Well, I've never really seen him play, but when you hear legendary stories of people like that, you definitely have to take notes. So I definitely knew who he was, did have the ability to meet him one time. Never saw him play, but everybody.
Unbelievable, Shaq.
Everybody that talks about him.
You put Magic, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, you twist them up together, you see Michael Ray Richardson.
Yeah. And of course, you had the ship be sinking.
The ship be sinking.
The famous quote from Sugar, and then this: how low can it go? Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, man. Just an unbelievable talent.
Oh my gosh.
Rest in peace, my man. You were great.
Remember we were seeing him in Oklahoma City?
Oh yeah.
Look at those games.
You played with him, Chuck?